middle country lay between the Welsh rivers Conwy and Dee, often contested between the kingdoms of Gwynedd and the Norman kings of England. Following the death of Llywelyn Fawr, Llywelyn the Great in the mid-1240s, this volatile land was briefly conquered by Henry III of England. Llywelyn ap Griffith was forced back to Gwynedd west of the Conwy, but by 1256 Llywelyn had retaken the lands back for Gwynedd, other than the royal castles at Dyserth and Diganwy. The Norman Baron Simon de Montfort defeated the king's supporters at the Battle of Lewes in 1264, capturing the king and Prince Edward. Llywelyn began negotiations with de Montfort. Included in his negotiations, Llywelyn offered de Montfort 30,000 marks in the Treaty of Picton on June the 22nd, 1265, in exchange for a permanent peace. But Simon de Montfort was killed at Evesham on August the 4th, 1265. Llywelyn opened negotiations with the king and was recognised as Prince of Wales by King Henry in the Treaty of Montgomery in 1267. In 1272, Edward I came to the English throne after the death of his father Henry III. Llywelyn continued to ally himself to the family of Simon de Montfort and married Eleanor, Simon's daughter, by proxy in 1275. But Eleanor was now a princess of the House of Plantagenet, and the king took exception to the arrangement, imprisoning Eleanor in Windsor Castle and declaring Llywelyn a rebel. In 1277, Edward raised a tremendous army and marched on Gwynedd, one force capturing Anglesey and taking possession of the harvest there, depriving Llywelyn of vital food for his troops, forcing them to seek terms. Another force reached the Conwy and camped at Diganwy. There had been a Motte and Bailey castle at Rhuddlan since 1086. Toot Hill had been built by Robert of Rhuddlan at the command of William the Conqueror to consolidate Norman advances into Wales. King Edward insisted that his castle built nearby should have access from the sea, and the River Clwyd was straightened to allow stone to be imported for its construction. The building of the Welsh medieval castles by the English under the direction of Edward I provided a power base for the medieval Plantagenet king, and ensured that the Welsh were subservient to the new English rule. Llywelyn's wife Eleanor died in childbirth at Abergwyngregin, 6 miles west of Conwy, in 1282. At this time, many supporters of the king had become disillusioned with the royal officers, and on Palm Sunday of that year, Dafydd ap Griffith, Llywelyn's brother, attacked the English at Hawarden Castle and laid siege to Rhuddlan. the rebellions spread throughout other parts of Wales. It began a war for which the Welsh were ill prepared. King Edward's forces again captured lands east of the Conwy, and the king's 8th daughter Elizabeth was born at Rhuddlan in 1282. Llywelyn's brother David led the defence of Gwynedd, while Llywelyn rallied support in the south. It was a decision which was to cost Llywelyn dearly. At the Battle of Orwyn Bridge near Builthwells, Llywelyn was trapped and struck down by a lance. As he lay dying, he disclosed his identity and was murdered, his head being hewn from his body. Llywelyn's head was taken to show the king at Rhuddlan, then to the Tower of London, where it stayed for at least 15 years. The resting place of his headless body is not known for sure. Llywelyn's brother David was hung, drawn and quartered in Shrewsbury in June 1283. In the same year, Wales became incorporated into England under the Statute of Rhuddlan. But the independence of Wales was at an end as Edward continued his castle building to the west.